This is the iPhone 4S, the last iPhone that a genius worked on and saw its release. I'm using it in 2018 and have been using it since 2012. With that much use, just like a car or anything else, there's a little bit of maintenance that needs to be done to make it be usable in today's day and age. I'm going to talk about everything you need to do to make your iPhone 4S completely usable in 2018. Since this video is going to be a little long, I'm going to put below timestamps. They're going to cover battery, speeding up the phone, how to get around apps not wanting to download, the best iOS to use, and the reviews and functionality of the phone. This particular model is running on iOS 9.3.5. Using this, you'll be able to use all the modern apps. With a little bit of help, you'll be able to get permission to use all of the apps once I tell you later in the video. This particular model is a world phone, GSM CDMA. Right here on the side you'll see it has a slot. In America, sometimes you have to have a SIM card, sometimes you don't, but in Europe, you can just go to any grocery store, and as long as the phone's unlocked, pop a SIM card in there and it will begin working. Now, the first major issue people have after having this phone for 7 years is the battery. This costs about £5 or $7 on eBay to fix. You'll get all the tools necessary to replace the battery, and it will take about 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that first. On the bottom, Apple has put 2 proprietary screws. This is all it takes to get the phone open and to replace your screen, which is about $1 on eBay for a new screen. So don't go let someone in the mall do this. Just order the screwdrivers and a new battery because you most likely need it. I usually replace my battery every 3 years or so. It just seems I like my phone to be snappy. So you just take out those 2 screws. One, 2, and then after you take out those 2 screws, it's very simple. Turn the phone over, put your thumbs here, push up. See how the camera moved? And you just lift it off. And it's the whole back glass. That's all there is to it. And since it's glass, you can put a little adapter here, and this thing's able to do wireless charging. It'll connect right here. But that's for another video. This is the battery. I've already replaced it, and I'm going to show you how to replace it. Now let's look at this area right here. And you can see a couple of Phillips heads. So we're going to take out this Phillips head and this Phillips head. Now this piece right here is good. I've already loosened these so for the video, but that piece will come loose once you take these 2 Phillips heads out. So you're going to have to line that back up once you're done. The nice thing about this is you could actually leave these screws. Oh, I'm trying to take it out with the proprietary screwdriver. That works a little better. Now, the best way to pry this is from this side here, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Lift right out. Bam, and that's all there is to it. You'll just push it back down when you're done. And how to get the battery out is you can use this tool, push it in here like this, and then pry the battery out. Or if for some reason your kit doesn't come with a tool, just lift it out like that. This is what the entire battery, when you buy a new one, will come with. And the brand new battery will get you about 1.5 days of battery life with heavy use. a day with moderate use, about a day and a half. You'll just pop this back down. It's going to make a clicking noise. Let me zoom in for you so you can see what I'm doing. You're just going to put that once you get your new battery, and it'll make a clicking noise. You hear it? Adjust this little guy because it always moves a bit. And then throw your screws back in. Since this phone doesn't have a ton of things, RAM, this battery here will do a very good job for you throughout the day. You can take a ton of pictures. My particular model has 64 gigs of RAM, so you can download movies and watch them on a camping trip until your heart's content. I recommend, if you're buying one of these for the first time, to get the 64 gig version. It's nice to have that much space. And then if you just cracked your back glass, a new back glass costs about $1 on eBay, set it on there like this and just pull down. And that's all there is. For time's sake, I am not going to put those two screws back in. Now, from there, we're going to go ahead and speed up the phone. You'll just go to settings, which I've already done all this on mine, so it's already pretty snappy. Get rid of that. The first thing you want to do is get rid of Spotlight Search. Spotlight Search. Now we're just in settings. All of your Spotlight Search should look like that. These should all be off. It'll make your phone a lot faster if none of this is on. Okay? The next thing in settings that you need to correct, reduce motion. Reduce motion. Should look just like this. Very simple, just green over to the right. After reduce motion, you make sure all your old apps you're not using or large files are gone. This includes old videos on Netflix. Even if you do have 64 gigs of RAM like this particular model does, you want to get rid of it. Turn off updates would be the next one. Scroll on down to iTunes in the Apple Store and make sure all of yours look just like that. Make sure they're all off. It's an old phone, it doesn't need to update, and if it's trying, it'll slow down. And that's going to give you a little bit of advantage of the new phone because your phone's not trying to update. Now, background refresh. This is something all phones should definitely not be trying to do. Background refresh. Make sure that is turned off. You do not want your apps working in the background when you're not using them. It should look just like that. And the last thing, very simple, if you're not using an app, close it. Well, looks like I'm committing the sin here because I've got quite a few open. I'm going to use YouTube, so we'll leave that one for now. Okay, now that we've sped up the phone and we fixed the battery, let's check the functionality of it. Now, one complaint I hear about this phone is the camera speed, how fast it comes up. I guess that's a little slow. A way to make it a little faster is just to use this and touch here. It'll come up that quick. That's pretty fast, even by today's standards. So for some reason, when you actually use the camera button, it takes a little bit of time, but when you use this, it's a little faster. So just use that slide method I just showed you. Now, this is a good way to show you the selfie cam on this. This is about as good as the selfie cam is going to be. So it's not terrible, but it's not great, but in my opinion, the worst part. Another thing is HDR. This will increase the quality of your photos by quite a bit, but doesn't come on automatically. So just make sure that you turn that HDR function on each time when you take your videos. Okay, let's switch over to another common complaint I hear about this phone is it's very difficult to watch YouTube videos on the app. Well, this phone does not require that you use the app to watch YouTube videos. Oh, good thing. I didn't know I was already on YouTube. That's fantastic. So I guess that's my own video here. My first attempt at it anyway. Let's search, what should we search? How about, people are trying to contact me in the middle of my video. How about space? I like space stuff. So let's just search space. It works perfectly fine just running the actual app. No real problems here. Ooh, D-News. I always like D-News. So let's just run that right there. Give you a nice little portrait mode here. So it knows which way to go. Oh, interesting. My Wi-Fi has been turned off. Weird. Don't want to be using my data. Okay, so back to E-News. D-News. So, just showing you the functionality here.
Tent up, fire built, food cooking. And that's what makes the outdoors great. Proudly sponsors both.
Well, we're not gonna watch that ad. Or I guess we might have watched it for a second. Alright, so as you can see, the functionality here is normal. Let's just pick another video right here. Just go into that, whoever this guy is. As you can see, the functionality of the phone works quite well in YouTube. If you wish to make a comment, for example, you just scroll down to the bottom and nope, I've lost my mind. It's right here at the top. I'm an idiot. Okay, and you can say whatever you need to say. I guess a comment is my favorite comment. So there we go. And we have commented. Alright, so that's the functionality of YouTube. There's no real reason to use the app. Just actually go to the real YouTube site and it will be quite quick. That's how to make your camera quite quick. Get my colors right here. Alright, I'll show you, I'm not going to show you Gmail. I'll show you Instagram. I guess I'm fine with that. This is about as slow as the app is going to be right here. It takes a few seconds to load. But then, once it's loaded, it behaves as it should. Just normal Instagram stuff. Not really a problem to record videos or do anything you need. Works just fine. So no problem. I had a little technical difficulty, so I'm just going to hold the camera for this next part. We're going to go into Netflix. Alright, and check out the functionality here. We'll just try Red Dwarf. That's a fun one. Good show. Make it a little larger, just tap it twice. Okay, can't watch an episode of Red Dwarf. Alright, back it out of there. Works pretty good. Now if you wish to download, you just go into here, pick one like that, and we'll get to see about what the download speed of half an hour episode is. But this brings me to my next point about Netflix. Once you've watched an episode, it's a lot of it's a half an hour show, so just go ahead and once you've watched it, just go ahead and delete that. It'll make it a lot faster. Now this is a 29-minute show, and I've been talking for just a few seconds here, so you'll see just about how fast this phone will download a 28-minute, in this case, show. Almost done. I'm not a YouTube whiz, so I can't speed up an individual clip. But this is pretty quick, and that's what you're here, just to find out about how quick. Alright. Looks like we downloaded Legion. Let's go ahead and just play that, see how quick it comes up. Alright, there we go. That was pretty fast. Check the functionality here. Just put it in the middle somewhere. Alright.
Strange. Life reading.
So really, no problems there. And that's Netflix. I think it works pretty great. Okay, now on to the App Store. Oh, what did I do? Now on to the App Store. So when you get that little annoying thing that says, you can't use that app. So let's find an app I've never used before. How about this one here? And let's go ahead and get this. And hopefully it will tell me that I can't install this. If it asks for a password, that will be really good. Alright, let me go off screen for a second, because I don't want you guys downloading crazy passwords for me, crazy apps for me. I'm having fun with my account. Okay, there we go. Now hopefully it will give us a message that says that you have to have higher than OIS 10. Okay, perfect. Okay, requires iOS 10 or later. Alright, so here's what you do. You go into iTunes right here, and you pick the same app. So we're going to pick this one. That's the panda bear we just chose. Go ahead and get it here. Oh, gotta hide my password again. Can't let you guys see it. Alright, so then, alright, it started to download. Doesn't even have to finish downloading. No big deal. So now we're right back here. Hit OK. And things have changed, I bet. It should say, there we go, the current version requires 10 or later, but we have one you can download. So just for download's sake, we'll let you watch that. I hope it's not too big of an app. Not even sure. It looks kind of big, because that is downloading pretty slow, right? Usually an app just takes a couple of seconds. As you can see here on my computer, it's still downloading on the computer too, so this is a fairly... The app's designed for both Apple and... What does it even do to be that big? I don't know, but I am not going to wait for it. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, because the purpose of that really was to show you that that is how you get around it saying that your phone, it doesn't have the right iOS. Is something I've been using for 7 years. It's very sturdy. The parts are plentiful. The add-ons are plentiful. You can work on it very easily. And for the difference between when Steve Jobs, a genius, made this phone and the phones that we have today, um, it's just not that big of a difference, and I don't feel like having a throwaway device. Now, I got sucked in and bought some newer iPhones, but I used them, and they just weren't durable. So, I had a minor lapse, for like 3 weeks, because I went through two different iPhones after this because they broke. And I just went back to this one because it's solid, and there's not really much difference in the speed. I mean, at the most, it will take 8 seconds to open an app versus half a second. I can wait 8 seconds um, until something miraculous happens with cell phones and they become something else, maybe hologram capable, that sort of interface. This is what I'll use for as long as I can use it. Um, Please tell me how you like this video. I really do have a love for this phone. I think it's an excellent phone, and to say that it is obsolete in 2018 is ridiculous. This phone will not be obsolete uh, for a few years, definitely, and definitely not in 2018. I use it as my daily driver. I upload Instagram, and I communicate uh, with my Gmail, and watch Netflix and do all the things normal people do. Um, you know, maybe the calculator comes up a half second faster on the new one, but I'm a pilot and it's fine for me. And I suppose if you were an astronaut in space, the amount of time that takes to come up is still going to be just fine, even in an emergency. These are excellent phones. The screen quality is excellent. The functionality is excellent. With just a couple of tweaks, the speed and battery life are excellent. And definitely something should consider for a daily driver in 2018. This particular model, which is a 64 gig world phone, costs about $50 on eBay. You can get one of these for $10 if you want to go with the smaller gig size, but when you get the 64 gig, it'll cost you about $40 or $50. But it's a really excellent smartphone, and there is no smartphone today that has the build quality of this phone. The functionality of it with one-handed use is amazing, and I do believe smartphones, if they don't switch to hologram keyboards, will go back to this. As you have seen with the SE, people like that so much that it did go back to it. Just a beautiful phone, and just a little note here. This is the 4S, which fixed the problem with the antenna that the 4 had, where if you held it a certain way it wouldn't work. So this doesn't actually do that. So no worries there. Okay, I know this has been a very long video, and if you listen to the end, congratulations. Um, I don't really make too many YouTube videos, so you don't have to subscribe. I'll make one here and there if you do, and thank you very much. But I would like a like and maybe a comment, as I do love this phone very much, and I just think that it gets a bad rap on the internet from people who use it for a week and just don't really know how to use the phone. or what little things you have to do to make it super fast, the battery to last super long, and for the apps to work. They just pick it up and they say it doesn't work. Well, to that I say, a fool and his money soon part ways. Okay, that's a little hateful, but I didn't write it. So anyway, thanks for watching my videos, and yeah, please comment and leave a like if you liked it. If you didn't, please tell me why.